Hey, it's Ryan, and today we're going to be talking about a couple things that Apple came out with. New MacBook Air and, more excitedly, new iPad Pro. Pretty cool. Stick around. So yesterday, Apple came out with a brand new iPad Pro and a brand new MacBook Air. So we're actually going to start with the MacBook Air first because we need to. They're finally going through and they're fixing one of the biggest mistakes of the past generations of laptops that they've had. And that is the keyboard, that butterfly keyboard. They've now upgraded the MacBook Air to the same keyboard that they had on the 16-inch, the brand new 16-inch model that they released last year, which is great. It brings back kind of that old styling from that 2011 to 2015 model that they had that everybody loved so much. They finally fixed that. They've also bumped the base storage from 128 gigs up to 256. While it's better, of course, everybody would like more. And it's kind of weird in 2020 to not have half a terabyte be the base configuration, especially for $1,000. In addition to that, we have a 20% bigger trackpad, which is good. I kind of like the one that I had on my old MacBook Pro. Call me nostalgic, I really liked it. They also improved the speakers, brand new speakers. They have a bigger microphone array, more microphones. It helps with canceling out the background noise. Actually sounds pretty good. I've heard it in a few demos and it sounds pretty good, at least on the 16-inch MacBook Pro. Oh, and one more thing. You can get this thing with a quad-core processor now, a quad-core processor, which is amazing. And as a professional, as like a production professional, while it's not going to have the same horsepower as even my old MacBook Pro or a Mac Pro or iMac Pro, those kind of things, it'll be definitely a step up from where you couldn't take a MacBook Air in the past to record like a symphony orchestra or something like that. Although I did once, it was pretty good, but it still had its issues. But with this, I feel more confident going into those situations because I know it has the horsepower. You can spec it up to 16 gigs of RAM as well, spec it up to 2 terabytes of internal hard drive space. And that's basically what my 2012 MacBook Pro has. The processor obviously is a little more beefy, but it's pretty much the same configuration. So you can do some light video editing. It also, if you need more horsepower, it will support an external GPU, which we've seen in other MacBook, in the MacBook Pros especially. Now with only 2 Thunderbolt ports, you are still going to be living the dongle life. That's just how it's going to be with these machines. And to be honest, we're all kind of used to that now. We all have quite a few of those in our backpacks or, at our office, wherever we need to be. But with these updated Thunderbolt 3 ports, you can now support up to a single 5K or 6K monitor or dual 4K monitors off of this machine. Now let's talk about the new iPad Pro. It floats, people, it floats! It's amazing! The iPad is finally something that Apple has told us it is for almost 7 or 8 years now since it came out. It is actually something that could replace your computer. And not just in the sense of emailing and web browsing. It could actually do some pretty heavy duty tasks, which, like I said before, as a production guy, that's huge. We just need to kind of get into the audio thing a little bit more, and then I'm all on board for that. And that's saying that there are so many things that this iPad Pro can actually do. Its horsepower, its ability to do those professional tasks, that it just makes sense to put cursor functionality. I mean, you look at this thing, it looks awesome when it's sitting on their new Magic Keyboard stand. And while the cursor support is a little bit different, it's not quite as intuitive as being on a Mac, it still gets you something or gives you something to work with. It's not quite as precise as a Mac, but it'll do the job. It looks like that it conforms to wherever you are going to move the cursor to. So whatever app you're in, if you're selecting text, it becomes a text selector. It's pretty cool. We'll see how it works in practical use and everyday use, but it looks like it might work out. And if you can contour that into production and to actually being able to edit video like that or edit audio like that, this is a huge game changer for the iPad Pro. I mean, I'm super excited to check this thing out. This looks like it's just gonna be an amazing update to this machine that, I think everybody has loved, but everybody's just waiting for that chance to jump in. At least the professionals of us and even some of the more high-end consumers that really want that horsepower. Oh yeah, and it's got like that other stuff, a couple more upgrades like a new processor, the A12Z Bionic chip, and then a couple new cameras, a wide and ultra-wide lens, and a LiDAR camera for cool AR stuff, but it floats! It freaking floats, guys. It's amazing. I have to say, I love it. I've wanted an iPad Pro for a while, but they're just so expensive, and if I had money, I'd order one. But you're looking at a lot of money, especially for the spec that I would want. You know, $1,300 or so if you want a terabyte inside. And if you're gonna be using it as a computer, you wanna get as much space as possible. It's just like we've said with the other laptops that they have, because everything's internal and there's no upgrading, you gotta get that terabyte. And if you're gonna use it as a computer and not have any other laptop, then that's the way you go. All right, so very cool offerings today from Apple, which is very nice. They're finally, they're back to being Apple. They're giving us stuff that we want to buy again, which is amazing. There was a few years there where nothing really excited me and made me want to go out and buy it. That's why I had the same iPhone for 4 years. But it's really cool. iPad Pro, March 25th. You can order now. You can pre-order now. Same with the MacBook Air, which you can pre-order and it'll be there around the 23rd, 25th, which is very, very cool. Well, thanks guys for watching. Like, subscribe, get that bell on, all the fun stuff. And I'll see you in the next video.